Hello there, everybody. How's everyone going? Welcome to the Adventures and Initiative presents the In-Quy'zz-ition. I'm your humble host, Dippy, as always, and these are my, well, three of my five lovely players. Say hello, three of five lovely players. And today, we're starting down 2, but we will be only down 1 by the time the rest of the episode plays out. Our lovely patriarch of the channel, down with the patriarchy, but our lovely patriarch of the channel, Dono, is stuck in traffic. So he's asked me to run the stream at least for today, or at least for the first bit. And he will join us whenever he is no longer in Detroit or Michigan traffic. So, just a little bit of cleanup before we start today. That's not the sponsors for this stream. That's the sponsors for the other shows. We're not sponsored by anybody yet, but we are still partnered with the lovely folks over at tabletopaudio.com. Tabletop Audio is a lovely internet streaming service of your favorite music and audio needs for your tabletop role-playing games. They cover a wide variety of genres and styles with all of their ambience tracks, backing tracks, sound effects, soundboards. You can make your own custom soundboards, and you can stream them directly to your players through the website itself. Like, for instance, now you're listening to a combination of a dungeon background track, a wind outside track, and a track called Lunar Outpost to set the scene for where they are currently standing in the game. They're a great service, and we couldn't do any of our games without their lovely, lovely help. And if you use them for your games, all they want is for you to give them a shout, and that's what we're doing now. Thank you, tabletopaudio.com, for being the music of our ears. Anybody else have their own, like, little thingy things before we start the episode today, or are we all feeling good? How are we feeling? Great. God, I forget that Dadley and Dono are like the louder people of this group, and not having either of them, it's gonna be a lot of hello, George. Georgie. Alright. So I guess for now then, without any further ado, let us commence the In-Quy'zz-ition. So, last we left off, everything was horrible with the streaming setup, not with the game itself. Well, there was a horrible thing that happened in the game, but it got fixed pretty quick by the fact of our good of Sundial just friggin' died. Sundial went down last session, and he was brought back post-haste with a Revivify spell, but not in the way that any of our lovely players would have expected. Sundial is inhabiting a new form in the form of what was apparently the inner goop of what everyone thought was a solid Lyramite sphere. Now we realize was a thin Lyramite shell encasing a bright green plasmoid. There was a little bit of investigating done on that front. There was a Gnarljack that got killed. There was a little bit of talking done. There was a little bit more exploration in the fact that Mosaic, the moss cat, turned into Mosaic, the slime cat, which is pretty fun. And the very last thing we talked about in the last episode was the fact that Sundial had a gray ooze in a jar, and the jar broke, and now the gray ooze is a small part of him. And we don't know what that means yet. But at the very start of the session today, just to excuse both of the people who are gone at the moment, Zog kind of turns to Sundial and says, "Hey, buddy, can I talk to you for a minute?" And they step off into the... They kind of step out of the firing range into the back of the firing line, And Zog kind of looks back at the rest of you, and he's just like, just need a little bit of time to talk to my friend here. And they kind of step away to have a short conversation. And we pick up with our lovely Fae folk and cat person. So all that just happened, and you still have a mission to do, according to the Camden Hall. What might y'all be doing at the moment? And if music is a little loud, please tell me. By the way, you instantaneously knew curiosity, like right then and there. Like that didn't need to be said, but it's been said. Deaf. Most deaf. So, you are currently standing in the did y'all come back out to the firing line last time? I think you did. Because it unlodged from the, and it went into the fire line, and it got fucking blasted with firebolt. So yeah, y'all are actually in the firing line, so so Zog and Sundial went from one end to the other end, to start this episode.
Do we wait for them, or do we press on?
I just realized that the audio for the rest of my players has been muted right up until this point, so now everybody can hear everybody else. Luckily, nothing important has happened yet.
Oh, I could always hear them.
No, for stream.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So stream can hear everybody else now. But again, luckily, nothing too important has happened yet. We're just starting off, so.
His name's George.
His name's George. That's the most important thing you missed. and the thing that Allie just said.
I just was curious if this was normal. If this individual Sundial was typically the one to transform and graft random creatures onto him. I just was checking the vibe after Zog and Sundial walked away to be like, should I be freaking out? Is this unusual? No? Yes, it is. Okay, good. Yes, good.
No,
okay.
Yeah, this is pretty typical.
On the same page that this is weird.
Yeah.
To answer your question, Quinlan, I think we should move on. I think they'll probably be talking for a moment.
For some time, yes. And we do have a mission to complete, and these distractions are only slowing us down.
Yes, I would like to get out of this tunnel, cave, dungeon thing.
The whole place has a rancid stink to it.
It's quite unpleasant.
Look again. Make sure that I'm on the right.
So, any gestures for Allie to
take the lead? God damn it. Yeah, I think there was one door in the firing line that Quinlan and I had opened, but we hadn't like gone through.
You initially took steps into this L-shaped hallway.
Yeah. We took like 3 steps in before
and then Sundial,
we had to come running back.
And then Sundial fucking died. So, let me cross off creatures on my map that are dead. Those are yes. Okay. So, just what I needed today, exactly. So, if y'all would like to, you can take a step in. You can start taking steps in that direction. You head into the L-shaped hallway. You are met with another door, but you can see the bar lock on your side of this door.
I unlock it.
And
I just open the door. No ceremony. We got a job to do.
Doors open. I had a fucking door sound effect here. I thought I did. Here it is. So, you enter into a small storage area. It looks like there are a couple of crates, boxes, shelves in here. Looks like they've been picked clean. The shelves here are in better condition than the previously mentioned shelves in the primary hallway and otherwise. You do see what appears to be a stack of boxes if you are entering into the room from the door you just came in, in front of you to the left, there is a pile of boxes in that corner. There are some shelves against that wall. To your right is a large crate, a very large crate by itself, and next to that very large crate is another door. No other...
Is the large crate open?
Do you want to go over and look?
Yeah.
All right.
Are any of them open?
Kind of pry your fingers under the lid and you like... If you really yanked at it, it might open. Give me a strength check.
Okay.
Not a high DC, just a strength check.
I have a plus 0 to that because I'm a nat 20 though because I'm a
nat
lucky
20.
motherfucker. Yeah.
Pry your fingers and you just like no resistance. You look inside. It appears to be filled with rotted packing material because a lot of crates were packed with either hay or other like soft materials to keep things kind of in check and in order. This just looks like a bunch of dry rotted wheat and hay on the inside here. There might have been something in this crate before, but there definitely doesn't look like there is now.
I take a moment and on a 13 wisdom save, I suppress my need to climb inside the box, as is in my nature. And I just close the lid again, and I go, shall we go through the next door?
Passive investigation from you three.
I have a 17.
17?
12.
16.
16? Allie. Those boxes are piled up in that corner really strangely.
Like a barricade.
Like it was holding something back or like it was hiding something. Because they're not stacked neatly in that corner. They're all kind of like pushed into that corner.
Can I roll a perception check to see if they've been moved recently?
Recently? Make a perception check.
It's 23.
No. Dust has settled on them in their current position, and the dust on the floor has settled in the imprint of where they sit now.
There's probably something behind those crates, but I don't think they've been moved recently enough to be who we're looking.
Could I climb the crates?
Yes. You kind of like place your weight onto one and you crash through it into a hollow box. A couple of scrapes on your leg, but you're fine. Well, actually, no, you're an air genasi.
No scrapes.
No scrapes. It just kind of like, it just kind of passes through the wisp. As you climb up on top, you kind of look against the wall and you see just the slightest hint of another door frame.
I'm gonna look over my shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
We have another door back here.
Well, what
So
do you
which-
think, Willow?
Yes.
Why not?
Start with this one.
All
Shall
right.
we do some redecorating then?
Yes.
All right. So, you guys can start moving crates, no checks and required.
Okay.
If you want to open any of them, some of them are like finger tight open, some of them are like you might need a pry bar to get into them. but if you do open any of them, just let me know.
I just want to, the ones I pick up, I just want to do like a weight, like a perception check on their weight before I move them to see if it
Just
might
a
have
shake
something in it
check?
worthwhile. Yeah.
Same.
It'll save me some
alright.
time.
If you're shake checking all of the smaller crates, you get a little bit of noise out of about 3 of them, and they're all finger tight opens. You open each of them up, and inside each of them is anywhere from 3 to 10 crossbow bolts in each of these small crates that you unpack. The box with 3, the bolts appear to be constructed differently than the boxes with 10.
Okay.
So I'll say that you find 1 group of 3 and 2 groups of 10 crossbow bolts. The 3, they appear to be constructed differently. They don't appear to be, like magical. You don't see any runic on them or anything in them that would indicate they're magical. They're just built different. After the crates have moved out of the way, the door appears in immaculate condition. It is a big metal door, a steel door with how do I describe it? There is a opening for what would be like the iSlit, like password please, in this door, but the opening is on the other side. You jimmy the handle, and it's hard to turn because of the rust, but you feel like it could open if you just like force the handle.
Okay. Let's do this.
And you just and you open up to what appears to be a small hallway with... Oh yeah, that's right. You open up to a small hallway with what appears to be a lockbox. About yay big. Made of metal. Looks like there's a key slot in it, but you're not sure.
Anyone lockpick? No?
Nope.
No. Quinlan shakes his head, thinking, ooh.
Base level intelligence check.
Okay.
For anyone who wants.
Yes.
Okay.
That is going to be a 12.
One of you has a ring of keys.
That's too smart. I also rolled a natural 20 on that.
Natural 20.
Oh.
Quinlan has a ring of keys.
Okay, Quinlan has the keys. Okay. So,
I pull out the ring of keys.
Yeah,
And begin to fiddle through them.
Rifling
trying to
through
find
them.
The right one.
Rifling
Yeah.
through them, you land on a key that is the same hue and patina of this lockbox. And it looks to be about the same size as well.
If anything in this place has taught me anything, would the two of you please take a step back?
you don't have to tell me twice.
Yep.
Couple steps back.
And I'm gonna open it up.
I like take one step forward as soon as it opens.
Yeah.
Curiosity. I can't
Curiosity
help
killed the cat.
it. Yeah, I can't help it. Like, wait. I want to see.
Two seconds, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Box for our trinkets.
Another box for my trinkets. It's Trinketville. What's going on? Where's my D100s? Inside, you find an unbroken potion of greater healing.
Okay.
as well as 200 gold.
Cool.
And
I'm going. Oh.
another door on the other side of this small hallway. This looks to be an access hallway. And this hallway, more specifically, is cleaner than the rest of the place has been thus far. It seems like people have been in this room less than the other rooms. Or nature has affected this room less than the other rooms.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna pocket this stuff.
All right. Potion of Greater Healing, 200
And-
gold are now yours.
Yep. And check the other door.
Locked.
Keyring time, baby.
Rifling through. This will actually. It takes. Make. I don't know whether to make this a luck check or an intelligence check. Make it a luck check. Just roll a d20.
12. Why?
12. Hey.
A lot
Well,
of
it
12s today.
seems to be my lucky
12.
number today.
Takes you about 5 minutes to rifle through and find a key that fits in the lock. Does anything happen in that 5 minutes?
I'm gonna look at Willow. Willow, I have a curiosity. Can I inquire on your magical physique?
Okay.
Do you consciously shrink things?
No.
Have you always done that?
Yes.
Do the others of your race also do that?
I believe so.
If I were to cut off your finger, would it stay the same size or would it get bigger?
I'm not willing to try that.
Oh no, I wouldn't. I was just curious if you would know.
I don't know.
If I were to cut off your finger and leave it in a box that you had shrunk, would the box stay shrunk?
Probably?
Maybe not so much with a finger, but maybe with a whole hand. Why am I entertaining this?
I'm sorry, I've never met anyone who could do this. I have been curious since
I am now
first saw it.
terrified to be in the room with y'all.
I apologize.
It's good.
I can assure you my dagger will never touch your flesh.
Well, thank you.
And Willow, I swore an oath.
I know.
God, write that on my curiosities now, but I'm not gonna ask about it because I already made people uncomfortable. Gonna put that under my fixations. An oath question?
I would like every single one of you to take an inspiration point for that conversation because it was golden. I love it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's pretty much all I would be doing.
All right.
I have to say, I have 4 sessions worth of notes on this one sheet of paper.
Oof. That poor paper.
I know, right?
Uh-huh.
I found a greater healing potion.
Mhm.
I've satisfied one of my fixations. I'm so glad the list was getting very long.
And 200 gold. At the end of that 5 minutes, the door, a key slots into the door, turns, and the door, you hear the door like depressurize, and it begins to slowly just fall open without even a touch of the handle. And you look inside, and on the inside appears to be an immaculately kept workshop. There are tools, and there are tools hanging on the walls by pegboards. There is a workbench kept in pristine condition. scattering the room are bits and bobs and pieces and springs and cogs, just kind of all sitting in little piles and boxes to themselves, some neatly organized, some not. Sitting in the corner, you see what appears to be the, for lack of a better way to put it, the husk of an automaton, but it doesn't look like a human automaton. Looks like a dog. Against the back wall of this workshop is some more are the pegboards and tools, like I said, but against the front wall, what would be the front wall to your left, you see a large, sprawling, like, work table. As long as the wall itself, about like hip height. And behind it, a veritable chest of drawers, when, like, opening some up reveals, like, clock springs and, like, tools and hammers and nails and screws and bits and bobs. It is a veritable cornucopia of mechanical wonder in here.
So from what we're able to glean, it's a fair assumption that this is where the automatons have been either made or serviced for maintenance.
That's definitely a good assumption to make. There are also manuals, books, guides strewn about the place as well. Everything that you would need to be, like, it looks like you pick up like a stray piece of paper and it looks like it's written in a language you don't know. It is written in a language you don't know. But for those of you, it looks like Dwarvish script, but you can't read Dwarvish. Dwarvish is a common enough language that you have knowledge of it, but you can't, like, read it.
A lot of people write in Dwarvish.
Right.
A lot of the races write in Dwarvish, yeah.
Yeah. So, excuse me. But not everything in here is written in Dwarvish script. Some of it is written in other languages. Very few in common, though.
We'll swing back around to here later, or Quinlan will. Is there another door leading out of this room, other than the one we came in from?
There is another door. Against the opposite wall to the door that you just entered into this place from.
Holding my mighty key ring, I shall advance upon the door.
While he's doing that, can I investigate the dog?
Yes, you may.
I just want to see if there's, like, any indication that it could be just turned back on, or if it's completely broken, or if it was deactivated somehow. I got a big fat, was that a fort?
4?
I don't know shit. I don't know anything.
Here we go. Four.
I got a 4. I don't know anything about dogs, and I don't know anything about robots, so this makes sense.
You kind of, like, reach out a hand to what you think might be its head. You just kind of, like, ding, ding, ding.
I don't like it.
Rings hollow. And
I
it's
don't like
like, it's just made of metal, and it's just like, yeah, it feels weird.
Nope. Doesn't.
You kind of, like, knock against one of its shoulder blades. Boom, boom. Might not want to touch it.
I think we're good on this one.
Passive investigation 17. It looks like this thing looks very, like, complicated. But it looks like there's an empty slot in its back for something. And given knowledge that you obtained earlier, you think that maybe it's all that it might be missing is a power source.
Copy.
You think.
I'm just gonna step away from it. I'm
All right.
good.
Trying keys on this door, the first thing that you notice when you approach this door is that the lock is on the inside. But the second thing you notice is that when you unlock it and try to open it, it seems like something is blocking it from the other side.
Solid door, no window, right?
Solid door, no window. Is it like you like are you're like pushing up against this door, even like running yourself into it periodically, and it's not budging.
What if I tried to pull?
Not a pull door. You did not
Okay.
make that mistake.
Cool.
Can you imagine?
I said push for a reason, because you would have tried pull, and like, yeah. So,
Perhaps
it seems like
this
something is
one-
blocking it from the other side.
Looking at them.
If you want to make a history check, you can.
Yeah. I'll make the history check while I...
Depending on what you make, you'll find out something, but just the level of detail of what depends on what you get.
Total of 14. I rolled another 12.
Oh my god.
A lot of 12s today.
14.
I'm using different dice.
Liliana Whisperwind, hello, welcome. So, 14. Your inner compass tells you that the amount of turns that you've made in this place thus far means that you would be back to about the same, like, you would be back to about the You feel like this door would connect to a room you've already been in before. And that something on the other side of this door would be blocking it. Something that you have seen from the time you entered into this dungeon.
On my notes, I don't think I took a note on another blocked door.
We may have blocked off the other side of this door without realizing it.
A 14, no, you would not have been able to do anything to change this outcome. You haven't done anything to change the outcome of this door yet.
Well, shall we go back and try the other one?
All right.
Is there space under the door?
Under the door? No. Flush with the floor.
No? Okay. All right.
All right. So, you make your way back through the workshop, back through the access hallway, back through the storage hallway to the next door.
Mm-hmm.
You try the handle. Opens. Unlocked. And you find a larger warehouse-type storage area. Tall shelves reaching up through vaulted ceilings, vaulted natural ceilings. The inside of this place, the ceilings of all the rest of the rooms thus far have been constructed. This room enters up into an open cave ceiling, where the top of this room is made of the natural stone that was burrowed out of the side of this mountain that this place resides under. You can hear the dripping of natural wet stone inside this room, and as such, you can also see little puddles on the floor of just natural water. Looking to your right, so if you are looking into the room from the door you just came through, there is a wall directly to your left. Like you can reach out, put your hand on this wall, and it extends all the way down to the edge of your vision of this room. Along this wall, there are several freestanding shelves, and on some of these shelves, you see what appear to be cloaks. Directly to your right is a Clockwork Watchman. Sitting
An activated
dormant.
clockwork.
I'm gonna back out and I'm just gonna drag us out of there, close the door. Perhaps we should wait for them before we proceed into there.
Do they have a battery pack on them?
I'm not sure what their power source is.
I would be willing to scout the room real quick. I am stealthy.
Very well.
A battery pack on them, the Clockwork Watchman?
Yeah, I was asking. I couldn't remember myself if there was an active battery pack that you could reach, but I couldn't remember if there was one visible.
In your time fighting these things so far, you
and taking them
haven't
apart.
seen...
I took them apart.
You did take one of them apart. In your time taking them apart, the Clockwork Watchmen are powered by another thing that you've already encountered in this dungeon, a soul gem.
Soul gems, yep.
But
it's not like
and the
where
soul
I
gems,
can get to it.
There's not an easy way to get to them, as far as you've been made aware so far. You did take one of them apart. In your time, flashing back to when you were taking it apart, you remember coming across a blue gemstone. And you thought, well, that's neat. This was before you encountered the chest with soul gems in them.
I had no interest, so I didn't take the gem with me.
Exactly. So, but it did require you taking off like one of the body panels and opening up a compartment on the inside of the now exposed chest.
Yeah.
So, not exactly something you would steal without touching it at the very least.
Okay. Shall I see what's up there? Or I can wait. That is also fine.
Either way, if you think you can pass unnoticed, in case any of them are active within the room.
I might as well try. Worst comes to worst, I'll just flee.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast Enhance Ability on myself for the Great Cat's Grace, so I have advantage on Dexterity saving throws.
And that helps
So
with
I'll
your
get
stealth.
advantage on my stealth.
All right.
And I'm just gonna the door and try to sneak past that first watchman that I see deeper into the room.
All right. Roll me a stealth check. At advantage, please.
First one's a 13. Second one is a 25.
25. Yeah. Simply enough. Kitty soft paws. You kind of like step into the room and you walk past the Clockwork Watchman. And you notice as you walk past him, the fact that the door was opened as naturally as it was before, you see a small red light right above the hatch where the net cannon on previous Clockwork Watchmen would be. You still see the hatch for a net cannon on this one, but you see a small red light lit up above that hatch. With your 25 stealth, you don't seem to make enough noise to do anything else. So as you're scouting this room, you kind of start weaving between shelves. and kind of looking on them, various bits of scrap iron and just torn pieces of paper. This place has been fairly well looted and ruined, like most of the rest of this place has. You do notice in the back right corner of the room from where the door is, so the opposite corner, if the door was up here, down in this corner, you see a hole in the floor that you can kind of approach a little more closely if you'd like.
Absolutely.
You
I'm
take
up here right into that. I'm up here right into that hole.
You take a look. You take a look down inside, and you see what appears to be a small. You see what appears to be about a 15-foot drop to what appears to be a collapsed piece of floor below you, with no ladder, no rope. And I need you to make a perception check as you are looking down into this hole as well.
It's going to be a 19.
19. As you look down into it, just at the edge of the hole, you see an opening where it would continue on as a natural cave floor. And you see a soft orange glow coming from that area, flickering like firelight.
Okay. I'm going to stealth my way back to the group.
Make another stealth check for me, please.
There's probably our target stuck in a hole, taking a long rest.
Mm-hmm.
First one's a 24. Second one is a nat 1 with a 7. So we're gonna go with the 24.
Okay. 24.
I'm assuming the door was left open, so I don't have to reopen it.
Quinlan, Willow, would you have left the door open? Cracked open. All right.
Cracked.
There you go.
Peering in periodically.
Make sure I'm not dying.
Yep. Keeping an
Appreciate
ear out.
And I only saw the one clockwork in this room, right?
Yes.
If I got
What
hit,
did you?
I got
Yeah.
hit.
No, hold on. What did you say you rolled
24.
for stealth? A 24.
24.
You are incredibly lucky. This was a perception roll.
Mm.
It rolled a natural 20, but it has no bonus to perception. So your stealth beats a natural 20 for what I'm about to describe to you. You pass by a shelf where you see two of these cloaks. And you look at the cloaks, and you notice that they look familiar, big air quotes. And then you think back to last night when Sundial woke everybody up with another fireball, and he said, "It was a cloak. I set it on fire." And you watch as the cloak just flutters ever so gently without you even touching it. But it does not reach out to you in that moment. It just flutters. You feel like you're quiet enough that it hasn't taken abject notice of you, but it definitely sensed something, just not enough to react to it.
It's just a rat. Just a little rat running around your little warehouse here.
There's a
looking
little
for some
rat.
cheese.
So you sneak past those. You go back up to the door, where the watchman is still standing. And you make it to the door, basically. You can enter back into it if you open it up a little bit more, or you can just report what you've seen.
Yeah, I'm gonna open the door, walk in, and softly close it behind me.
Mm-hmm. The latch relatches.
I'm alive. There's a cloaks in there that looks suspicious, and a hole where our target is probably by a fire of some kind. I thought about leaving you behind and going and fetching them, but I'm glad I returned, because I don't think the three of us can handle whatever is the collection of things in that room right now.
Then perhaps we should find another way down. One of these other rooms might offer that path.
Looks like the floor caved in, so they may be injured as well.
Well,
Okay.
let's scope these other rooms and then see what we can find.
It's like,
All right, so at this point, are we kind of walking back through all of our other previous rooms? Or what is our plan here?
We had gone. Let's go back out to the main hall.
Mm-hmm. To the firing line, the range?
The L-shaped hallway.
Oh, the L-shaped hall. Yeah.
Was that all the doors in the L-shaped hall?
Yes. I will say, with the progress that you've made so far, you have gone through almost every door that you can go through in this complex. You think back and you remember one more door in this starting hallway, the first hallway, that you have not gone through yet. Every other door, though, in this place, you have gone through. There is also a hole in the floor in the firing range that you have not investigated because you didn't get that far. You were attacked by a gnarljack before you got that far. Oh, yeah, that bitch is dead, too. So is that one. There we go. All right.
Well, perhaps we should check the one door in the main hall where we initially came in. We've gotten as far as we can get over here.
like that plan. I wanted to check that earlier, but we got distracted
Mm-hmm.
by danger, I believe.
Yes. Seems somebody who has been using this place, one of the last tenants, did not want anybody within these walls that did not belong. And we are unlucky enough to spring every trap so far. Until now. Thank you.
I am sneaky.
So
Shall
as you're kind of walking back through,
Yes.
you reapproach the firing line. No sign of Zog or Sundial when you reapproach the firing line room.
Odd.
You go back into the lobby where the room before the firing line. No sign of Sundial or Zog there either.
Have we been abandoned by the host?
I hope not.
From the lobby, do you go back out to the first hallway?
Yes.
The door, by the way, still blown apart at the hinges from between these two rooms. Stepping through that open precipice, you look and you see, standing close to the entrance, the very first door that y'all walked through to enter into this place, are Zog and Sundial kind of sitting on the steps, deep in thought, deep in conversation. At this point, you've crossed the span of about 30-ish minutes. It seems like they have taken the first 30 minutes of a short rest.
I say nothing and continue to go about the business, because the sooner we get this done, the sooner we get the hell out.
Mm-hmm.
I just like touch my pocket where I have the vial of part of Sundial
Mm-hmm.
and then continue walking. I don't think I gave that back to him, did I?
No, you did not.
No, I
you
kept,
didn't.
yeah, I still have it. I
You
just touch it
feel-
as I walk by.
You feel a small gravitational pull come from wherever your that vial is being kept, in the direction of Sundial. Just a tiny one, enough to move whatever clothes you're wearing, whatever pocket you have it stored in. It's enough to move the clothes, but it's not enough to like pull you all the way to Sundial.
After we pass them, I'm gonna look at Quinlan. I'm assuming we still have a little bit of walk to go.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, taking the chance to sound like a serial killer again, may I make an inquiry on your physical disposition?
Very well, I'll bite. What
You're
is your
married.
question?
What is your elemental makeup? Are you consistent of oxygen, nitrogen, hydrogen, atmospheric, or are you denser? Helium or lightness, perhaps?
I'm not quite sure.
If we were both sitting on the floor of the ocean and I needed to breathe, would you suffice?
Well, the way that I keep myself, probably not, but if we were in those sort of circumstances, with the way that air genasi typically are, I think you might be able to.
And if I were to take a vial of you, would it return to you when the vial was open?
No.
Interesting. Thank you.
As far as I know, I am flesh and blood.
Mm-hmm.
But there always has been some sense of mysticism among the Fae. At least that's the way that the elder monks at the temple that I was trained in always put it forth as.
I was under the assumption that air genasis were twin physiques in a sort of way.
How do you mean?
That they were not wholly material in the most physical sense. But perhaps I've only heard stories. I think you're the first I've met.
Granted, now there are some who have had some form of ascension, but those are but myth and legend.
Myth and legend is what I traded, so. Thank you.
Indeed.
As you walk down the entrance hallway towards the last door that you have not entered into yet, you see, lying on the floor, what appears to be another very familiar-looking bear trap. It's about...
Right now, I wish I had a grenade.
It's about 30 feet away from the door. Just lying dormant. And against the back wall of this hallway, you see piles and piles of scrap stone, metal, iron boxes. Almost completely blocking the wall that would be at the end of this hallway. And above it, you see a collapsed portion of the ceiling with natural rock hanging down through it, and what appears to be some form of wires or cables or rope dangling from the hole in the ceiling itself. Strange.
Is it just the one bear trap?
Yes.
Just the one, as though it didn't body a whole fucking person on our group.
You've not gotten its attention yet, but you know that it might not stay that way for long if you try to go to the door.
Is it tamped down like the others, or
You
no
do not
chain?
see a chain attaching it to a peg in the floor. It looks like it's just lying by itself. Actually, wait, no, sorry. Yes, there is a chain coming from it. The chain goes underneath the pile of rubble. And the chain is at about half slack right now.
Okay. Okay. All right. So, I'm gonna look at the other two and just give a disgruntled face. Just a and then I'm going to like close that door and look for another one if there is one.
Oh no,
More.
no! This is
That's it?
in the hallway. This is in the hallway. You haven't opened that door yet.
So
Okay,
this
so
is
it's
new then, because this wasn't here
no
earlier when I
wasn't.
tried to go to this door.
You
When we
attempted
had
to
been
go
open-
to
when they had been open. This is the door, one of the first few doors in the hallway when we first got into the area,
Okay,
right?
y'all are in this hallway.
Yeah.
With this, you are approaching this door. This bear trap is on the floor, and that wall.
Is this before or
Okay.
after the place that had all
It's
the
the
lockers?
very first hallway that you entered into. This is the hallway
Yeah.
with the lockers in it. It looks like. No,
Okay.
sorry. The lockers is the reception area.
Right. Is
So,
that
yeah.
before or after this space?
That is
'Cause before
after this space. Before this
Okay.
space, this is the first hallway that y'all entered into.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So y'all didn't make it all the way down to this end of the hallway or this door previously.
No.
And I just got a text from Dono saying, expect me to not show up at all, so we might call this a half episode if we'd like to fill out another 30 minutes. With whatever else you guys would like to do with the rest of your time.
I'm not a fighter, but should we kill it?
Quite. Willow, how's the murder meter today?
Well, considering one of my friends just went down, it's quite high. Let's go murder some things.
Time to let out that aggression.
All right. Hey, let me bring up the gnarled check again. So again, you have not caught its attention yet, but is there anything that you are doing before the inevitable?
Are we gonna try and sneak up on it? That's to the other two.
We could try to ambush it.
Because I can cast pass without a trace so we can get better.
That sounds like a good plan. And I take out the spear that I'm still, in my mind, borrowing from Zog.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It's not mine, it's his. I'm just borrowing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna pull my rope dart. Give me some nice reach.
But yeah, so I cast pass without a trace and then...
All right, pass without a trace. You can all add 10 to your stealth checks.
I forgot how overpowered that was.
Yep.
That's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Oh, I think I still have advantage. Wait, how long does enhance ability last? Hold
On your way back through, if it's only a minute, how long is enhanceability?
It's 1 hour.
An hour, yes.
Concentration up to an hour,
Right.
but I don't think I've done anything to unconcentrate.
No, you haven't done anything to unconcentrate that. No, absolutely
Okay,
not.
second roll again. Oh, that was a lot. That was a wrong roll. Don't ignore that last one. That was a sleight of hand, not a stealth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that would be a 26 with a plus 10.
26. So a dirty 20, a 26. Willow?
14.
Oh, no. 14.
There goes. My dice went wonderful. Now it's crap.
Aw.
But yay for the plus 10.
All right.
Because I would have been on a 4 otherwise. Oof.
Yup.
Oof.
Mm-hmm.
Not great.
All right, so you all managed to get within your respective ranges. Willow, what is your respective range? What are you thinking of doing to this thing?
Moonbeam.
Moonbeam. All right, you all get within your respective ranges silently. Doing a countdown, or what do we think? What do y'all?
Looking at each other, I look at the other two as we've encircled this thing, and me from my 20-foot distance, just give a.
All right, and on that nod, 3, 2, 1. Ah! All right, all of y'all make your. You can all have a surprise round.
Whoop whoop.
And we will get into the music.
Woo.
I'm gonna burn my inspiration. I rolled a nat 1.
Oh no! Oh
I'm
no!
gonna burn that inspiration because
Oh,
that's
no.
not. I'm better than that. I'm not much better than that.
Oh no.
What is
Zog's
surprise?
spirit.
Do I get anything for a surprise attack? I can't remember. Is that anything to my actual
No.
attack?
No, I don't believe so.
Lovely.
I
That's a
think
9.
9.
It's better than the 4 I had before, but
So
I just
9
should have
misses.
not wasted. Yeah.
Rhys.
15.
15. Misses. Willow. What
That
does
was
it
good.
what does it
I need
do?
a con save.
A con save.
We can just blame the moonbeam going off and blinding us.
Yeah. I was like, I wasn't prepared for that.
We got a natural 1.
What are my reactions?
Yay!
So you get to do double damage with your moonbeam.
Yeah. Okay, and because I only casted it at level... No, I did level 3.
Level
Because I
3.
want this thing dead.
All right. So a level 3 moonbeam. So it takes this damage first.
Ooh.
Wait,
Okay.
what damage type is it again?
Radiant.
Okay, you're good.
Okay, gotta use my calculator.
Ooh. Oh, Coolator.
19 points of damage.
19 points altogether.
And yes.
All right. As soon
And
as
then that's not doubled.
that's not double. Okay, yeah, no.
No.
Simple crits. So this is my house rule for simple crits. You take
Yeah.
so you take the maximum allowable damage on your dice
Yes.
without the modifier, and then you roll the dice once
Okay.
and add that and the modifier. So 19 was your roll.
Yes.
What's the maximum allowable damage on Moonbeam at 3rd level?
30?
So 49 plus whatever modifier gets added onto it. Is there a modifier?
Nope.
49 radiant damage. Okay.
You just reduce it to a pile of rust.
Hold
Apparently
on.
murder is very much on my...
Let me double.
My
Let
list
me
today.
let me double and triple check my house rules. Make sure that that is the simple crits is what I maximum amount of damage a dice for the dice roll.
And there goes
Yes.
Obi.
Yes. Okay. So, 49 damage to start. I need y'all to roll initiative to see what order y'all are gonna take to finish beating the shit out of this thing.
Natural 20.
Natural 20.
15.
So it's a 24.
24 total.
Yeah.
Okay. What else?
15.
15.
Yes.
Okay. Willow?
And 12.
12. Despite a natural 20, the Gnarl Jack still goes first. Rolled a 19 and has a really high dex. So, Gnarljack
I would be the closest. You
Is
don't
it-
gotta do the math.
is immediately hit with a giant moonbeam of radiant energy, and you're not terribly incorrect when you say that it gets reduced to a pile of rust, because the outside of this object immediately begins to flake off. The wrought iron begins to flake away, burning under the light and intensity of 1,000 suns, and also, it's basically like you took a giant welding torch to this thing, and it's just like melting away. It is still standing, however, and as it innately senses that there is A, something close to it, and B, something did a lot of damage to it, it will snap to life. It will, and you said you were the closest?
I stabbed it with a spear, yes.
Right. So
I would be
is
right
a spear
next to it.
a spear doesn't have 10 range though, right? So
It
you're
has 20 range, but I would
20 range if
be-
you throw it.
No, it's 20 range. I think it's 20 range and then parentheses 60, which is thrown distance.
No, that is your
Is that not how that works?
that is your 20 is your first distance, that's without disadvantage. 60 is your long distance, which is with disadvantage unless you have sharpshooter.
Right. Okay.
So, unless
I would
this
be
is
right
a
on.
pole arm, is it a pole arm spear? No.
It's
then you're
just
in melee
the
range
spear
of it.
dog gave me- Yeah.
Then you're in melee range of it.
I'm gonna get my ankles chomped.
Does a
I have a 14 armor.
does a 28 hit?
I have a 14 armor.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
I'm gonna say
I
that
have 33 hit points. Do I die?
I'm gonna say that this does an extra die of damage because it hit because it hit 14 above your armor class. It hit double your armor class. So I'm gonna say it does an extra damage die.
Also, just you'll need to make me a con save as well. Because it's his turn, not you.
Oh.
He does. Because it's the brand new round.
Oh, right.
Yep.
Oh, maybe
at
I
the
don't
start
die.
of its turn.
I shit you not, it got another natural 1.
Okay.
So does Moonbeam say it goes off at the start or the end of the turn?
Hold on. When it starts its turn.
Inside. I live to fight another day. I'm a survivor. I'm not gonna give up.
So you said
You're not
the
gonna
maximum allowable is 30?
Yes.
It just melts away into nothingness. It's gone. it's gone.
It would have been 52 points.
52.
Yep. Got 22 on my roll.
I see this blinding light melt this thing in front of me, and I just, under my breath, you hear Allie say, "Don't fuck with the fairy. Don't mess with the fairy. Don't."
How did it get 2 natural ones?
Pixie power.
I swear to God, it got 2 natural ones. No. Uh-oh.
Rubbing my eyes, I just pull back in the...
No, wait. Hold on. Wait, hold on. Sorry.
Oh.
Okay, I'm back.
Mm-hmm.
And is my microphone okay? It's not like peaky?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Good. Very good. So, what were you saying, Quinlan?
Just blinking my eyes going... Perhaps a little warning before blinding.
Blinding lights!
Nope. I did not need a warning. That was, thank you. I saw one of my last lives flash before my eyes.
It
How
like
many lives do
snaps
you
to life
have?
and like tries to hop to you, and it just melts midair, and it just like melts to the floor in a puddle of just like molten iron.
Put my spear away. If I had hair, it would be standing.
So, you can approach the door now without fear.
I look at Quinlan and I go, "Cat never shares how many lives they have left. It's bad manners."
Is that like asking a lady her age? You just don't do that.
Yes. Or asking a lich their age.
Touche.
No, you insult the lich's age and then demand to know where its phylactery is.
Yeah, that's true. Unless it's a nice lich.
So you approach the door. I realize I used the door opening sound once. There we go. So, as you open this door, inside is a fairly buck-standard barracks. Looks like there's room for about 24 people to bunk in this barracks. With double bunks, with 12 double bunk beds. There would be footlockers sitting at the ends of these beds, but most of those are either smashed or stolen. Excuse me. You see corpses in 2 of the beds. And by corpses, I mean skeletons, because these have been here a very long time. And unless you're willing to investigate, it doesn't look like there's any automatons in here. It doesn't look like there's any traps in here. You can just investigate this room as you please.
Investigate.
All right.
Yeah.
So roll your investigation checks, if you will.
21.
21.
14.
14.
Not get stuck in the corner. Thank you. That is going to be a 6.
6. Quinlan. Not much of interest catches your eye in this room. It's like, this did not lead us anywhere new. I'm out. Allie.
That's fair.
The 14. You kind of like take a glance at each of these beds as you're kind of like walking past them, and you like look up underneath some of like the bunks. Like like if you were laying in the bottom bunk, you look up into the top bunk and you see some spare photos, papers, or photos. I say illustrations, papers, stuck in some of like the crevices underneath some of these beds. Nothing of particular value, but you do also find some predecessor minted money underneath one of these beds. What is denoted to be a value, the denotations of the bills that you find appears to be about 17-ish of whatever currency they used. 17 predecessor money. Willow, with a 21, you kind of like do another glance around the room and you look upon some of the top bunks. And you look underneath a pillow. You start looking underneath pillows. You find a couple of coins. They look slightly different from gold pieces and silver pieces that you use today, but they are still golden. So you get what appear to be 3 gold coins. But underneath another pillow, you see what looks to be a written manual, a written book, if you will. On the front, it says, it's written in 2 languages, Common and one that you don't recognize. Wait, what are your languages again, Willow? Sorry.
Celestial, Common, and Sylvan.
No, not a language you recognize on the front. But in Common it says, Introduction to UWT. Looks like this is like an early hire packet for United Weapons testing. As you open it up, you see that on the back sides of pages, it's written in the language you don't know, and on the front sides of the pages, it's written in Common. So these 2 pieces of text say the same thing in both languages. You realize could possibly be used as a cipher, if with your intelligence. It would take some time, but the basic gist of the manual says, "Welcome to United's weapons testing. You have been selected because of your skills in either engineering or your skills as a soldier. We are constantly looking for more. We are constantly looking. Wow, can I speak? We are constantly looking to innovate in every field of our work. That includes our staff and our engineers. This packet will guide you through the policies and placeholders of each United Weapons testing facility, and there will be a section at the end for your facility specifically." And then it goes on with some more legalese about like this, the terms of your contract are binding and legal. This is a fairly standard stuff for someone who's just been hired on at a company. But you take note, there is a section for your specific facility at the back. couple of illustrations of Clockwork Watchmen as you flip through. A couple of illustrations of other things. But when you reach the end, UWTR number 057. This facility was designed and purpose-built for the testing of new long-range weaponry. In its most basic terms, this is what this page describes. Innovations have been made by many of our committee members in the ways of placing damage upon targets at greater distances, going beyond the simple bow and arrow and string. The weapons that we test here are, and you see a redacted space. But beyond the redaction, it says, and are not to be shared with the greater public until extensive testing has been taken underway. The current model that you will be testing is simply known... Hold on. Let me bring up the name. The current model that you will be testing is simply known as the Armament Cleaver Mark II. New shipments of ammo will be brought every 2 weeks. New parts for maintenance will show up upon order 3 days upon order. It describes a workshop where these weapons are maintained and built. It describes a workshop where the weapons are maintained. The weapons are not built in this facility. It also describes that the clockwork beings that are kept here can also be maintained in said workshop. And it gives you a facility map. With the entire illustration that you have seen thus far being laid out for you on the back page.
All right.
It also describes that the in-house workshop should contain all spare parts, power supplies, and bearings, as well as basic ammunition facilities if they are needed. There's also one more redacted section at the end that you cannot see through or read. It is not redacted in the predecessor language. It is redacted in common.
Okay. I found a book.
Is it interesting?
Meh. Tells us about what the place is.
Oh.
And what they're testing, or they tested here. But there's a map on it.
Oh.
And I flip it around and show them.
Now we
Convenient.
get a map.
After we've already been through everything, right?
Yeah.
You take note of how the map has every location that you have already visited on it, and that how it doesn't appear that there are any more rooms. There is one room missing from this map. It is the room behind the reception with the armoire and the chest with the soul gems in it. That room is not on this map. Every other room, though, is, including the workshop, which you have previously found. And you see that it is connected via a door in the main hallway. The door that is blocked off with rubble. And there the connection is made within your mind, Quinlan. that you could get back into that workshop if you cleared away that rubble, but that rubble would take more than a hefty amount of work to clear.
Yeah. So I just make that note and nod at the map.
Mm-hmm.
Keeping that thought to myself.
Kitty. So.
I had a sneeze, run away. Damn.
On that note, is there anything else that y'all would like to do with this? Is there anywhere else you'd like to go, or would you like to join your compatriots for possibly a short rest? I will.
If the map is correct, then your assertion, Allie, would be correct that the target is down that hole. We need the others if we're going to proceed.
It's interesting, though, that there is a room not noted on this map. Makes me wonder if there are other secret rooms.
I had a similar thought, but...
See any other doors?
I also don't want to give this place much more of our time than absolutely necessary.
I would agree.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Without any other discussion, because I'm assuming we're all on the same page, I start to head back to the other two.
All right. So you all walk out of the barracks, up to the front entrance.
Mm-hmm.
And you explain to your compatriots what is going on. Zog and Sundial both kind of look at you and they're like, well, actually, no, his new voice. Well, I suppose that we can head that way in a little bit. And Zog's like, I agree, buddy. I agree. But let's just take a little bit more. Mm-hmm. So you all sit at the front entrance, gather yourselves, and by the time the next session rolls around, you may take a short rest.
Take a cat nap.
Take a cat nap. You deserve it.
I deserve it, damn it. I deserve it.
And on that note, I will go ahead and call it a session there, since we would be continuing without two of our players. I was kind of banking on one of them making an appearance midway through the episode, and it turns out that that didn't happen. So this is just a nice little side episode for you, continuing the story, but with half the cast. So thank you all so much for watching. It's been a good episode regardless. Our next planned episode would be on the 24th. However, Dono has made mention that he is beginning his travels on the 24th. So we might be down one DonoTheCleric for that episode, but as long as everybody else is available, I would still like to run an episode then. How's that sound?
Yeah.
All right. So, we will continue the escapades in 2 weeks, as per usual. So thank you all so much for watching, and as always, until next time, your adventure matters. Roll for initiative. Goodbye!
Bye-bye.
Bye!
Bye.